Hello, we are live. Thank you so much, Nosipho from Opulent Petals, to join us today on Freedom Day, actually on South African Freedom Day, for another episode of Piece of Puzzle. So, can you hear us, Nosipho? Nosipho, can you hear us? Hello? Oh, and here we have Liz. Can you hear us, Nosipho? Hello? Can you hear us? I think what we're gonna do is I will get her back in. So maybe people can just indicate that they can hear us. Yeah. Let's see if I can hear Nosipho now. Can you hear us now, Nosipho?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, we can hear you too. Wonderful. Okay. Welcome. Great. Thank you so much again for joining us on this Freedom Day today. It's a very special day for South Africa.
Yes.
And
the president has just spoken.
Yes, the president has just spoken, and
Now the people are speaking.
Yes, now we're glad that we can speak to you. We know you from different angles, maybe now, but maybe for the people who are listening in and who don't know who you are, maybe just explain to them who you are and what you are doing, please.
Okay, all right. My name is Nosipho. I'm the owner and founder of Opulent Petals, and we're based in South Africa, in Johannesburg. And what we do is we do floral installations and floral designs for weddings and all big events.
Okay, and you're doing this like usually now, like in the Gauteng area, like in the Johannesburg area. And how old is your business?
I launched it last year in 2019 in June of 2019.
I think we're not the only one with a bad connection.
So we're just under a year old. We're heading for a year in. Can you hear me, ladies?
Yeah, it's a very long delay.
Yes, but
we will try. We will try to make this. You don't want to postpone it again. You had to wait already for us, so we're waiting for you now. No problem.
Hello, Andre. Just like saying hello to some people that are in the line. You have people listening from all over. Just saw somebody from Cape Town, from Joburg.
Okay, so your business is like one year old. And I think you have in this 1 year you have experienced actually quite a bit, and you have taken steps
to everyone who's listening.
Yes. You have taken in this 1 year quite interesting steps from my perspective. That's why I actually also thought it's interesting for us to actually give you a platform and let people hear more about your stories, because I think on the one hand side, it's very brave from a company that is only 1 year in business to actually go the steps that you have gone and also invest into your business in the lengths that you have done now over just the last couple of months, I think. And just maybe let us know the motivation behind it. I mean, I have met you personally in Dubai at Engage. I know that you are rebranding right now with Cici in New York, who was also at Engage. And just like tell people a little bit about the reasoning behind that. I think that's very interesting.
Yeah, and I want just to add, I still clearly remember our first telephone conversation last year, when you just opened your business and you phoned me and we had a chat about like your first wedding that you want to do and what flowers you want to use, and you wanted to make it very special. And I was amazed to see that you took so much effort and knowledge into your first event, and also you invested in structures and in all those kind of things where normally florists only do on a later stage. So I still remember that very, very clearly, and I was so happy that you trusted us, and you trusted like to get flowers from us, and the result was really amazing.
It was amazing. Yeah, we shared it also on our Instagram, so it was beautiful.
Yes.
There's a long delay.
Thank you for the compliment. To take risks for, I believe that for significant growth in life, we need to come out of the comfort zone.
Right.
So that's the what I believe in, not only with my business, but with life, I'm always eager to learn. I love to do research, and I put in a lot of research into my business, because I wanted to stand out from other businesses, I believe that the more knowledge you have, it puts you in a better position to be able to offer a better service to the people that you want to service. So I made the decision that before I get my first big client, I really need to know exactly what it is I'm doing, because I don't want to offer
I can hear you again, but very, very delayed. I'm so sorry about
one. I think no one wants to invest their money. Are you still there?
Yes, we are still there, but unfortunately the line is very, very weak.
Can you hear us actually clearly? Maybe can somebody tell us from the audience if you can hear both of us, like Nosipho as well as us, maybe Andre or somebody else, Anna, whoever is listening, please, can you let us know?
Otherwise, can you just quickly go out and come back in again, so that people can.
We will still be
We will stay here. Yeah, let's try that. Okay, so we were just waiting for Nosipho to come back in, but for the people who are still listening, it's such a
technology. It's terrible.
And we're working very hard on it. Obviously, today being Freedom Day, not a lot of companies are open to talk to, but we have, we have contacts already that should help us to also up in our line. So, but we have interesting talks. It's actually such a shame because we say the only thing that we're missing right now is a very good internet connection.
Yes.
I just hope that still it's not so important that you guys see us. It's more important that you hear us and that you also hear and see our guests.
Yeah, and thank you for joining us. Actually, also from Lusaka. This is quite amazing that we are reaching so many different people in different.
In such a short time, actually. I mean, right now, we are doing, so let's see if Nosipho is back and if she can hear us more properly. Hi, Nosipho.
Can you hear us?
Hi, guys. Is that better?
Yeah, I think that sounds much better.
Sounds definitely much better. Yes.
Okay. I've
Okay.
had to move around the house.
Yes, that's what we're doing. So we changed
Exactly.
also now and have just now a cable into the computer because we thought that's the best way to have a better connection, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. I
Okay.
think just where we stopped, and I think that's quite interesting, and I actually want you to repeat it because I think a lot of people need to hear it, specifically people who are new in the business, and actually also the old ones, because I believe that you are on the right track, what you're doing, and how you're investing into your business and the steps that you're taking. So you said it is important to actually like know your basics and like invest into research and invest in like your time into just creating your business platform. So maybe just tell people a little bit more again what you said before, because it was really hard to understand.
Okay, no problem. So I was saying that ever since I launched my business, and actually even before I officially launched the business, I spent a lot of time studying. You know, I studied. I invested in an actual, you know, when it comes to what I'm doing. I did floral classes, master classes, you know. So I've always been a person that believes in honing your talent. You know, I believe that especially in the competitive industry that we're in, you know, things are evolving. I mean, look at the time that we're in now with the COVID-19. You know, so for me, business was so that I don't become stagnant, first of all. And I also thought that it's important for me to develop other skills that I'm going to need going forward as the business develops and as it grows. So I invested a lot in just acquiring knowledge, acquiring skills, you know, mingling with people in the industry who've been doing this for a long time, just so that I can learn a thing or two from them, and you know, get to know what are the do's, what are the don'ts, and so forth. In terms of the rebranding of my business, I decided to go this route at this time because over this period, since I launched the business, because I've invested in knowledge, and I, you know, the very first event I did, I invested in that because I didn't want my first event to be a mediocre thing, you know. So since I first launched the business, there's been a lot of growth, you know. I've managed to you know, define who I am and where I want my business to go. And I felt that the brand identity that I had was not really it was not speaking to what my business is all about. So I thought, what better time to brand during this time, because you know, we're all going through this change, you know, where life as we know it has changed. So what better time to just, you know, redefine who you are, redefine what you do, and really find purpose in what we're doing. So that's the reason why I've decided to rebrand the business.
And that's amazing, actually. Also, when I just like recap what you have invested, also financially in the last couple of months. I mean, the decision to go to Dubai to spend the money for Engage for such an event, high level event, and to also go with a rebranding with a New York a designer. which is obviously a little bit more expensive than anybody else in the country here. So this is something that is really amazing, and we always say to people, like when they ask us how much cost we think a class would be, or why is it so expensive? We cannot afford it. I mean, that is exactly what it is. You should do everything to afford something, because connections and knowledge is priceless. Actually, is priceless. And what we do all, and also in a certain way, what we do here with the platform, people asking us why we do this. I mean, we want, in particular this time, connect people in our industry, because we as a wedding and flower industry, we do not have a lobby like the wine industry or the cigarette industry, whatever. They have a lobby anywhere. We do not have a lobby. Nobody is speaking for us. So at least we can we are be able to get to know the people behind a brand. And because that's what I'm always saying, business is done by people, by you and me. And because I know you, I do business with you, rather maybe than with someone that I don't know. And that is exactly the key, what Alfie said.
Specifically in our industries, I mean, specific, or your industry, like the flower industry connected to the event industry, it's such a personal industry, you know. I mean, you will choose for someone that you really like, whose personality like appeals to you as a person, because you have a vast like choice, you know. You can go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but by the end of the day, it's obviously A, how you present yourself, but B, it's also a personal connection you can basically get with someone who should do your wedding, because your wedding, for example, or your baby shower or any other private event is in your personal space, you know. So you need that personal connection with someone. Otherwise, it's not going to work, because trust is such an essential part of the planning process, whether you are just like supplying the florist, or whether you are basically planning an entire event. Each and every piece of the puzzle, and this is where we also come back to it, is so essential that there is a great personal relationship. And I think it's great for you to work on this, specifically at a time where a lot of people see the future very dark, and we also have to be very realistic about it. And that's why I also wanted to speak to you particularly, maybe also to inspire some people to use this time right now to work on their brand, to just rethink, are they in the right lane? Is it what they are doing for things? How do you need to define it? Is there maybe a specific niche that they need to focus on? Maybe they're offering too much, or is it exactly the right thing? And just when I saw it, when I saw your post, and when I saw, wow, she is taking Cici from New York to rebrand her business.
And I was like, by the way, Cici, because I was speaking in Nigeria just a couple of weeks ago, and Cici was one speaker beside us, and it was such a getting the circle round, you know. Alfie met you, met Cici, I met Cici, and now we are all like somehow connected. And this is interesting. Wow. And we also spoke to Cici to come and join us for a chat, and she will maybe in the next couple of weeks. But two questions, or one question before you maybe be able to show us your branding a little bit of what Cici has done for you. What made your decision actually finally to say, okay, I go with Cici, I want to have a new branding from her and not from anyone else? And now?
Okay. So there were a couple of factors that made me go with Cici. First of all, I've had branding done before, here in South Africa, the branding that I'm currently using was done here in South Africa. But after my exposure to the international market in Dubai, I realized that I really need to up my game, And when Cece did her presentation in Dubai, the pride in which she carries out her work.
Yes.
Her work is amazing,
Yes.
And when I approached her in Dubai, I was thinking if she actually does branding. So I approached her, crossed my fingers, and I thought to myself, if this is the kind of work she produces with her stationery, then it means that she has an artistic flair, And so I took the risk and I approached her and I said, you know what, I'm inspired. By the caliber and the level of work that I'm seeing here that people are producing. So for me, it's, that's what drove the decision to go with CC. I saw her work that she presented while we were in Dubai. I loved how artistic she is. I loved her use of color. A lot of her wedding stationery, she uses very, very bold colors. And that's what I love with my flowers. I love bold colors. I love perfect person to rebrand. Yes, very rich,
I saw a
and
sneak peek. I mean, we
also
followed.
because
Sorry, no, we followed like the reveal, and this is now maybe interesting. We followed the first reveal of your of the design options. Maybe it's not the one that you have chosen, maybe, but like the options that she has given to you on live as well. And it was amazing to see like what different options she came up with, and they all
different options.
I know.
Right?
And she it's really amazing to see how a brand, and really, I mean, you don't, no one has to be shy, to evolve also during your business, so it's a process to move from one step to the other. I mean, we all started somehow with nothing, with no background, in the sense of no client, we all had to find our way in getting where we are, and we are not the end of our roads, not you and not us. So it's just one step ahead where we are. And I think it's great also how she tried to incorporate parts of like what you like and the flowers that you like to incorporate or you like to work with. And I think that's very essential also.
Very bespoke.
Yes, very bespoke, and how you identify with your brand as such. I think that's very unique.
Before you show us, it's also what I actually think while we are talking is it also shows that someone like Cece is going out, is worth to do, is worth to spend the money to go and introduce your brand to other people in the industry, because you felt connected, you felt somehow in a very positive way approached by her speech. So she actually gained direct business by going there and spending her money to introduce her business.
Yes, absolutely. And Sylvia, there's something you said. I think it was you, Alfie, where you mentioned how building relationships.
Yes.
Is so important. You have just said business that discovery and growth, you know. And that's encouraging to people like me who are just starting out in the industry, you know. And we appreciate people like you and people like Cece, who are willing to help out you know, new businesses such as myself, you know. So relationships are important. I mean, I remember, Sylvia, when I was ordering my flowers with you for the first time, I didn't even know how to do a proper flower count, you know. But you were willing to help me even with that, you know. I remember just before the day of the event, you guys were constantly on the phone with me, reassuring me that, listen, everything's okay, the flowers are on the way. You know, you walked the journey with me, you know, from the start to the finish. And I just want to appreciate you for that. You know, we need people like you in this industry, that are not going to be selfish, with information and knowledge and experience, you know. We grow together from such things. Really, we grow. And I mean, because I've established a relationship with you guys, no matter where I am in the world, you guys are going to be my number one supplier. I'll never go to anyone else, because when I was starting, it's you guys who were there. It's you guys who were willing to help with knowledge, you know, and experience. And so, yeah, in this industry, I think relationships are very, very important. Connections are very important, you know. And also just being brave, and not being afraid to redefine, you know, the way we've done things, and possibly look at new ways of doing things. I think those are the important things in this industry. Mm.
Nosipho, you just gave me a lot of goosebumps. Thank you so much. I mean, that was not why we offered you to speak. I just think you are an inspiration. Personally, I believe you are an inspiration for a lot of people, from different backgrounds as well. And I believe that your story, as you're telling it, just needs to be heard, because I think a lot of people um, are very boxed in their own way of thinking. You know, they maybe are afraid to think outside of the box, or they are afraid to take the step to say, you know what, I'm only 1 year in the business. Why must I go to Dubai? I'm not ready yet. It's not my place to be. I shouldn't be amongst those like big brand names maybe that are on the list. But you took like the leap of faith and like just went. And I think what you have gained from going there, the knowledge, the relationship, and by the end of the day, maybe the most beautiful branding ever in South Africa for a business, at least from Cici in New York, has just given you so much in return. And I think that is something that a lot of people should just listen to, and they should get inspired by the story, because as I said before, we have to be honest, real and raw. There will be a lot of hardship in the coming time, specifically for wedding florists. It's not going to be easy. There will be a lot of maybe businesses also that will go out of business, because this is just the way it is in this situation that we are like in right now and that we're all facing. But there is some silver lining at the end of the horizon, you know. So I think that is somehow a story that I love to share, and I'm very grateful that you are here. And
you are not walking a path, you are jumping on the path. I can just say that.
I think for other people to just follow, because in South Africa still there have been either people that have been very long in the business, or they always consider them very small. And even if you are small, you can still achieve so much more if you have a vision. And I think it's about the vision that you bring with that can make such a huge difference to your business.
And also, I mean, we, honestly saying, we have a lot more like people in other communities, in Indian or in white communities as florists than in black communities. And I really, really love the idea that you can be a role model for your own community, for black and colored people, that they go out and they don't have to be shy, but they have to learn and to constantly invest in business.
Yes.
And you know what we always say, what costs nothing, you get nothing out of it. For nothing, you get nothing.
That's true.
And I also believe in nothing has no value. If things are for free, like what people so nicely say, is this for free? Either you have paid already on another side of the bill that was included somewhere else, because that's why they can give you something for free, or it has no value. And I mean, it's for all of us the same thing. If we buy, let's say, a handbag, and you get it for 10 rand, you even sometimes maybe don't even think like, is it something really good, like what we get, or like when you pay, not overpriced, but when you pay for something that you see a value in, and then maybe you put up savings, you know, to afford it. That is a totally different thing. How you value it by the end of the day. You put it in a velvet bag, and you put it in your cupboard, and you look after that nothing happened to this thing, you know. And I think this is the same with education. Yes. Not always the most expensive is the best, but what is cheap is cheap, and that is what everybody need to know when they want to invest in their business. So obviously everybody has to also like figure out what is possible for their own like financial situation, but rather wait a little bit and maybe spend more money on something more valuable than on maybe 4 or 5 different cheap things which might not be so efficient.
But I mean, Opulent Petals already is a statement, you know, so it's already in the name, opulence. What I'm interested in is, I mean, you have now this rebranding process, and you have been to Dubai. You have maybe also been inspired by a lot of things that you took back home. So how do you see the future of your business, also considering the current situation?
Sure. That's a difficult question to answer, because you know, none of us know what direction we're gonna go in after you know, this whole pandemic we're all faced with has passed. But I think in general, I envision for Opulent Petals going global, you know. I think because we're making international connections, we can only expect that we will have opportunities outside of the country, and not just here in South Africa. And for me, Opulent Petals is about, you know, creating an experience through my flowers, you know. So I want to evoke emotion through my floral designs. And I'm hoping that, you know, someone in the world out there will want to have an authentic South African experience. And, you know, we can actually create that for them, even through our floral designs. So that's what I look forward to going forward and into the future. I'm seeing Opulent Petals, you know, going international. and just introducing the world to the beautiful country we have in South Africa. We want to give them an experience of South Africa through our floral designs. So that's what I envision for
Excuse me? Beautiful, and it's beautifully said. It's wonderful what you said. And even if it's in other African countries, you don't have to directly say you have or you want to go to New York, or to, if that's possible, it is, but even to just go smaller steps within first Africa and then to expand, or even to collaborate with other African floral designers, or to be together on a project. I think that's an amazing vision that you have. And we are also, we always say we are Europeans by Africans by heart. We love to be ambassadors for South Africa, for this beautiful country that we live in, that has given us opportunities as well. Private and business opportunities. Yeah. And I think in this way, what we are doing, we can also sort of give back a lot. Give back in terms of also offering jobs and opportunities for other people. The same for you. The more jobs you get within your community, the more people you can support and can employ, and that's actually the aim of the game for any entrepreneur. Why we are doing this, to support also Absolutely. Not only us but others around us.
Yeah, and also the platform is not only for South African entrepreneurs and businesses. We know a lot of people all over the world due to our jobs that we have done and our businesses. So we want to bring Africa also on the map of other countries. Like we've spoken to Sarah Campbell a couple of days ago, American floral designer. She has an amazing number of people following her, and talking to her about Africa, that was actually the key for her to talk to us, because she was interested what is going on in Africa, and I want to support those people. And that's why she gave also, by the end of the day, very unexpected, she gave actually a voucher for every South African florist for $100 on her whatever online courses people want to buy on her online courses. So I think that's an amazing, that is an amazing opportunity. Yeah, people just have to send us a message that they want to get the code. We will supply the code. So every florist in South Africa and in other African countries can actually make use of it. And I think, and by the end of the day, we convinced her maybe next year when everything travel is safe, to come here to Africa to have a class on a tortilla farm. This is where we bring Africa on the map to other countries, and this is our little part of being connected. And I just, before we go back to you personally, I just want to say something what touched me very much. You gave a really heartwarming compliment to us, and I must say, this is what I always felt. We don't want to be someone that only sells flowers, because everyone can sell flowers. You can put somebody on the street of the corner of the street and you can let them sell flowers. But in these days, is not the sale of a product. The sale of a product is important. The service behind and the connection to somebody is important. And even now that nobody is able to buy or to sell something, we make contacts to all our clients, and some of them, and Rosanna is very she's on the board. She is on the board of that. They say since weeks nobody has found them talking about flowers, and maybe family members, but nobody has out of the flower community has reached out to them. And I think this is what counts at the moment, not the business for now or what we're expecting, but the connection that binds us together, and that in the long run for all of us will bring business to us. right?
Yes, yes. So
Absolutely.
for me also, I mean, for us right now, our platform is without an agenda. And I like to say that because also other people like ask, what is the reasoning behind this, what we are doing? We don't have an agenda. We want to give just people a platform like yours, which I personally just find very inspiring, to inspire other people to stay connected, to be on the board, to focus on their own business, to invest into their own business, even when the time is tough and hard. Because right now, this is what will bring you to the other side, you know? So once everything is back on track, and I don't want to say like, you know, we all in this, I mean, 5 weeks that we have now, we all have wasted some days because some days we just feel like not doing something, you know, not getting out of bed, not doing, like not being creative, not being efficient, stuff like this. This is not what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is generally to think about what is your vision, how you want to actually move on with your business if you can, and then just make it work. And I think you are just a great example for that. So thank you so much for being around with us and sharing your story, because I personally believe it's really very special.
Yeah, and we have to start working more together, all of us, and stop clicking and things like that. I know this is still existing, but I think this will bring nobody nowhere. So we are one industry, and we have to speak with one voice. And now, hello, Karen LaRue. Thank you so much for your statement. Now we want to see something.
Do you have like some of the visuals from CC?
I'm so sorry, guys. I couldn't print it out.
No problem. No
Yeah,
problem. I
I'm
think
so
everyone
sorry.
can follow. Like everyone can actually see one of the mood board at least from CC, right, on your Instagram. Just tell people your Instagram handle.
It's Opulent Petals.
Opulent Petals. Okay. I hope maybe also some of
5 million new followers by tomorrow. I can tell you.
Our friends that follow us will follow your journey and see like where you're going with this, and by the end of the day, see what amazing rebranding will take place for Opulent Petals. And then maybe just one personal question, because literally, I mean, we are here, we know we talk about the business, but we also talk about the person, Nosipho. How are you coping in this situation? Do you have family? You have kids, homeschooling? Like, what is going on in your life, like right now? And maybe also, what are your fears, or what drives you, and how you get out of bed every morning, knowing that, I mean, events will be the last sector to open, and with that, most probably a lot of your wildflowers and arrangements.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I have one child who passed on in 2016. So I don't have any other kids besides her. I'm not married. I live alone. But I do have my parents, my family that stay about 10 away from me. So we're checking on each other. Guys, hi, are you still there?
Yes, we're still there. It's very delayed, but we're still there. Yes.
We see you. We see you. Do you hear us? Do you hear us?
Can you still hear us, Nosipho?
Okay. Saying, my family and I,
Oh, the line is very bad.
you know, we we check up on each other.
Okay.
Um,
I think Nosipho will have to, yeah, I think we just lost her here. I'm trying to get her back in. Let's see if we can just try to get her back in. Okay.
Actually, horrible with the lights.
So sorry about this, guys, but I think it's also like on our part and on her part. So let's just see if she can come back in. I think we've lost her for now. I think generally, I mean, this is now more on the private side of things, but I think on the business side of things, you've heard a great story.
Amazing. Take my head off actually for 1 year. Wow. And single mom. I mean, you must listen to that.
Yeah, so single
now maybe
mom,
she's coming back, is she?
No, she's not. I think we'll have to leave it at that. I'm so sorry now that we have to cut her off this way. So I will maybe ask her to join us another day just to share her private story. We thank her so much for being online with us. With a piece of puzzle, and it's a great inspiring story from a florist in South Africa who's reaching out and who is going beyond borders to get new experiences.
Has a vision. She has a vision.
Yes.
I mean, that drives me crazy, actually. That is so beautiful to see that she still in this time as a single mom, she has a vision for her business. I think this is amazing, and you don't have to feel guilty when you do not have a vision right now. This is also okay. You
At
can
this time right now, a lot of people are just very confused.
Yes, but we just want to share different stories and want also to give you hope and want to give you perspectives maybe, and let you listen to other people's stories and their inspiration. That might be an inspiration for you
yourself.
too.
Yes. So thank you so much. I'm so sorry again for the very bad internet connection. I just have to apologize. We're working on that. We're working very hard on that. Today is Freedom Day. So we wish everyone who's following us a safe and sort of happy Freedom Day, as happy as it can be. We just hope things are going to get better. We will continue with our lockdown stories.
And we have amazing people in line, I can tell you.
Yes, some very inspirational people that we still want to talk to.
Yeah.
So tune in back soon. Every day now we have from 1 to 2 guests that we speak to, and from different angles, different industries, different perspectives, and I think it's going to be very interesting.
Yes, and we hope we will have the freedom again to go to work soon.
Bye, people. Bye-bye.